It's Tim.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Collegiate Rugby Championships 2025's National Sevens Tournament. We are here in Boyd's, Maryland at the Maryland Soccerplex, where 64 teams are competing for 4 national championship trophies. We are just about ready to kick off day 2 action. Had the men's side yesterday, and we are ready to rock and roll here with AIC and Norwich. Just about to kick things off. I'm Tim Wilkes, and I'm joined up in the booth by John Broker. And John, we've got an excellent day 2 of action here on our hands.
Yeah, it's going to be a great day, too. The women's tournament, this cascading tournament, you have to win every game to win the tournament, so there's no letdown from the first whistle. AIC and Norwich, these teams will know each other very well. About 2 hours away up the I-91 corridor from Massachusetts to Vermont, so they play each other quite often, so they will know what each other are about, as I said, so this should be an exciting start here.
We are just about ready to get underway. The Yellow Jackets there in the black and yellow. Again, out of Springfield, Massachusetts, your number 2 seed, placed 3rd in this tournament last year, and off the kick, that one does not go the required 10 meters. So we'll come back for a free kick from midfield. Got to have the tap off the foot, so we'll restart.
Absolutely. Tim, as I said, this is cascading, right? You've got to win every game to win. There's no time to ease your way into the day. So that missed kickoff is, could be a very critical moment. So everything is pressure here.
Yaina into contact, makes her way down the pitch, but then this one, a penalty here. Our first of the match. Center of the pitch, and they'll quick tap and try to take it into contact. Around one defender, just outside the 22.
Turned it over.
A turnover there, and back on the ball here. The Yellow Jackets around the right-hand side, into the hands of Demkoski. Over the 10-meter line, and they will start this one off 45 seconds into the match. And it's a big-time try here for the Yellow Jackets. I believe that's Schechter that was able to dot it down for AIC, our first 5 up on the board.
You have Morgan Schechter, but you have 2 key players. Look at number 5 there, Langi. She's so key. She goes in and she turns over that ball, moves it wide. She has Morgan Schechter from Cheshire, Connecticut, just sees the space down the right-hand side. No problem at all. She is in for the try. Those are 2 key players connecting right there the way that T. Fletcher, their coach, will want them to. Good work, Yellow Jackets, to open the scoring.
And the kick off the post, no good. So 5-0 our score there after Morgan Schechter, the junior, dots it down. Great passing out the outside. And John, just one quick mistake turns the tables there for AIC.
Absolutely. That's, what I've been saying. Just keep an eye on here. These teams have to start fast. And AIC had a little miscue on that kick. Gave up a couple of penalties, but then that turnover from Langi, so important.
Lots of speed all around the pitch here for AIC. Again, 3rd place last year. A great start here on day 1, or day 2, but day 1 of the women's tournament here at the Collegiate Rugby Championships. Off to the right-hand side here goes Santh. This one goes the required 10 and back in the hands of Norwich. Again, after that first one, a couple of good drives, but then it was poached away, so they've got to make sure support is there. But you see the black and yellow jerseys just continuing to push the red back all the way 10 meters from their own try line. Now another big-time tackle. Great contact there from Edwards. Continues to fringe out and try to contain the cadets here. Backwards has our referee, but pressure is on. Scooped up there. Ligalagi able to take it all the way in for the try. Scoop and score, but John, what incredible defensive pressure to force the turnover and get try number 2.
I am just in awe of that early defensive pressure. I would not want to play against that. Every player was marked on Norwich. Everybody was coming up strong, and eventually it just goes over the top here. We talked about her. Noah Langi had the turnover before to set up Schechter, and right now she gets the try that she deserves. Well done, Langi. She usually does a lot of the hard work, but gets an absolute gimme, and you can see the smile right there. A very pleased player, the Sacramento, California native.
So try number 2 up on the board, and the team that placed 3rd place last year, the number 2 seed, rocking and rolling already here in Maryland. Get ready to set this one off yet again. Choosing the left-hand side this time. Again, nice pressure on the ball, and it's taken away yet again. Around the corner, Kiana Edwards takes it the distance for the try off of the restart. Had the bounce and took it the whole way. Try number 3 for AIC.
First thing we talked about when this game started, Tim, was starting fast, not looking back. AIC doing exactly that. Just tremendous work off that kickoff. Right into the hands, so well done. Taking a look, just coming right through there is Kiana Edwards from Columbia, Tennessee. And she sees it, spots it, gets that ball, and just turns the corner. There is no one going to catch Kiana Edwards in that space right there and able to dot it down under the posts.
Saw her with the defensive pressure in that second try, led up to it. She did a great job fringing out to the outside, but the freshman showing her defensive prowess and then scoop and score off of the restart. A great beginning of the tournament here for AIC. We'll have yet again here over midway through this first half of action, Tim Wilkes and John Broker taking you through everything here this morning, and again pressure on it, and they're able to scoop this one out, not releasing. Actually, they're just going to call a knock on here, so no penalty, and we'll scrum down here in the center of the pitch about 25 meters out.
Aside from after the first kickoff there, this entire game has been played in the Norwich inside their 40-meter line with AIC putting on all the pressure. If AIC can put a couple of more tries in before halftime, this could pretty much be a done deal at that point. Norwich is going to need to dig deep right here and early.
Able to get this one out the back cleanly. A couple of bobbles here, gets things over to the right-hand side. Into contact goes Edwards, and a high tackle sends the Cadets back 10. Edwards with the quick tap and gets things moving. Nice ball into the center, steps through one over the 22, and they're going to take this one all the way in. Naomi Dodd, the sophomore sports management major, takes it the distance. 4 tries in the first half for AIC.
Naomi Dodd just was left the open space there. See the nice pass come in right around that defender, steps her outside, steps inside. Maddie Ortiz couldn't quite keep up there. And Naomi Dodd from Jamaica, Spanish Town, Jamaica, touches down. A great try here for the Yellow Jackets.
Look for the 4th conversion here. Up and good. 2 for 4 on the day. And AIC continues to roll now, 24-0. Your score. And John, just what last year, or the second place team is looking for. You said they needed a quick start to get things moving. Can't ask much for more here in the first half of action.
An absolute statement from this AIC team. Look, they force a knock on again right there. Just such pressure coming in from AIC. T. Fletcher has this team well drilled, ready to go. It's going to be their scrum. We have a player down here.
Yeah, a bit of a collision there when that ball was up in the air. Again, gives us time. We have more matches on the docket. Women's Premier will be right here in the stadium for the next 6 to 8 matches. So stay tuned here to the Rugby Network. We thank you for joining us.
We have some great games coming up here, Tim. This is obviously Norwich AIC, Wheeling Bowdoin next. Mount St. Mary's Army, St. Bonaventure University, New Haven, Adrian Bulldogs versus the Brown Bears, Navy versus Westchester, Southern Nazarene versus Queens, Frostburg State versus Penn State. These are some of the great women's rugby programs from around the country, and they are all battling it out here today at the CRCs.
John, we were talking earlier, we have our defending national champs looking for the three-peat in Brown. Tell us a little bit about them and what you expect to see from them later in the day.
I would expect to see Brown. Brown is a bit senior and upperclassman heavy. They're bringing in some really good young players as well. So Rosalind Chow is doing a great job at Brown. And she is just building a really good program. But there are some players that are going to want their swan song, right? They're going to want to go out on a high. AIC, you can see, he's going to want to have something to say about that. Matched on the other side of the brackets. But Brown, just a tremendous team. Rosalind Chow and her staff, well-versed in sevens coaching. So they'll be a team to watch out for.
And Chow looking to break the record for coaching championships here at the CRCs. Looking for number 5, had 2 with Life, looking for the three-peat here with Brown. But right now, first match of the day here, AIC. 4 tries on the board already. Scrum half. Offsides there for AIC, so the quick tap gets things going for the Cadets. Out to the right-hand side, big collision, jars that one loose. And John, that will take us to half. 4 tries up on the board for AIC, and a terrific start for the Yellow Jackets. We will step aside, and when we return, we'll have second half here in just a couple minutes. We'll see you right back here.
In a sport of power and precision, you need a powerful and precise camera. Analyze your game. Build your team. Grow together.
Ready, up.
VO captures moments. A powerful camera for a powerful sport.
Rugby! Welcome to the College Rugby Show. This is going to be home for all hot takes, highlights, rankings, hot topics, all things college rugby.
They could be pushing into that 2, possibly number 1 spot.
This for me is one player to watch out for.
We will be back on your airways very soon.
Our world is growing, and so is rugby. There are more players.
Welcome back to Boyd's, Maryland, the Maryland Soccerplex, home of the Collegiate Rugby Championships, where today we start the women's side of the bracket. 64 teams, down to 4 champions. First half of action here between AIC and Norwich. All AIC, 4 tries up on the board. And John, a strong first half from them. Not many mistakes, just had that restart. But other than that, a terrific performance.
Yeah, AIC looking really strong. So with a lead like this, you don't need point differential because, as we said, it's a winner-take-all tournament. Cascading, you got to win every game. So you can use some reserves, rest some legs. Doesn't matter what the score is. You can leave rise there for this Norwich team, but AIC does seem to agree.
Yeah, Naomi Dutt already with 1 try up on board. Takes this one 70 meters. Beautiful little pick up over the top. Finds some space on the outside. And the Jamaican native gets number 2 on and stretches the lead now 29-0.
Dodd there, just hitting those ears back, no problem whatsoever, right around the corner. So with that, this kind of lead here at 31, if I was T. Fletcher, of course, she's a much more accomplished coach than I would be, but, this is time to kind of give some people a rest, right? Like, you got a long day and a long couple of days ahead of you. You're up 30-0. Opportunity here, really bring some people in, keep things rolling.
Cameron Henderson, the sophomore education major. Murfreesboro, Tennessee, puts this one down near the 22-meter line, and that's where the Cadets will take. Strong tackle.
Turnover's good.
Made there by Lagi, and a turnover back to the Yellow Jackets. Henderson fends off a couple. Now I'll take a seat here just outside the 22-meter line. For some space on the left-hand side, and I'll switch it back over to the right. Lagi splits the defense over the 22-meter line, and she's going to scoot her way in for the try. Number 2 on the day as well. Lagi, the prop, gets it done. The sophomore biology major, another try for the Yellow Jackets.
Eleanor Lagi is having a good first gear. Obviously, you see there, she just gets in between 2 defenders, puts them of a couple of months. Outside defender stays out. She's able to beat that side defender and just cruises her way in for a try here. Great work, Lagi.
Just so quick to strike, John. We saw the turnover ball and a quick strike. Looked like they were going to go out to the left, back to the right-hand side. Know how to take those 3-on-2, split the defense, and another 5 on the board. As AIC really looking to make a statement here. They'll punch their ticket into the next round with victory here. Bowdoin and Wheeling coming up next. We'll see who their opponent is here in the next round. We've got just about 2 minutes on by here in the second half of action. Off the restart, Norwich again out to the right-hand side, looking for some space out there. Strong tackle again from Edwards. Slams the door shut and does it again. Another tackle driving the Cadets backwards. Offload here, find some space on the outside. Force Edwards into another one, just gets so low. Second time in a row, is able to drive them back. The defense pressure now, John, really start to exploit things. There's another break after the turnover ball. 10 meters out now for AIC. This one lost out the side. The penalty's going to be here.
The power of the tackles from this AIC team are just bone shaking. They're putting in the hits. This seems to be a clear to them for the rest of the day.
Great form, getting low, driving horizontal through that attacking player. 2 times in a row there onside. Kiana Edwards. John will look, second look here, close to the try, not quite.
So they gained advantage there, had AIC, and they came in. Players just digging in there.
Gas. Got 9 in the tunnel. I need a 9 in the tunnel.
The Cadets have struggled with so far here in this match. Getting out of their own end, they've been pinned in, and the turnovers from the Yellow Jackets all over the place. Again, ripped out of the lineup, taken here by Miller. Gabrielle Miller gets her team inside the 22-meter line, looking to strike yet again here for the Yellow Jackets. Plenty of sting left here. Through the fence goes Cameron Henderson. 4 meters out. They'll recycle. Still space on the right-hand side. Pick and go, and they dot it down for another try for AIC. Sarah Doyle from Gilway High School, the senior, gets into the action and dots another 5 in for AIC.
And this is what AIC is doing, is bringing in the rest of their players. You know, these are all players that deserve to be here and are equally talented, but you have to bring them in and get them going in tournament here.
So she never gonna talk about the
Take another look at it here. Good work, Hanson, just powering away. Big drive coming in there, and no problem for Sarah Doyle.
But just the team continuity there. They always have somebody at the back of that ruck ready to keep things moving. They've got a line ready to strike each and every time, and they have made Norwich pay for every single mistake. An incredible start here to the tournament for the number 2 seed, AIC Yellow Jackets. Another strong kick back to the 22-meter line. 3-on-2 on the outside. Try to find some space near the touch line, but this one's lost forward through the kick. Picked up, and another breakaway here. Satya Miller swims through the defense, in and out, and dives in for the try. Everybody getting it done on both ends here, and Satya Miller, the sophomore from Tennessee, dots it down and extends the lead for the Yellow Jackets.
One of 2 players for Columbia Central High School in Columbia, Tennessee, along with Kiana Edwards. Kiana Edwards scored earlier. Now it's the turn for Satya Miller. Satya Miller, a speedster for this AIC team. Ball in hand, just a little bit of room, and she is tremendous. As you can see her there, just working her way through this Norwich Cadets defense. And Norwich got to be getting frustrated about now.
Yeah, that defense is flying all over the pitch on that last possession. Hofoka and Doyle into the contact, jarred that ball loose. And then right there to take it from the distance, Satya Miller extends the lead here for the Yellow Jackets. Just a minute left in this match. And for the second time, it looks like this one's not going to go the required 10 meters. So we'll come back to the center of the pitch for a free kick. They will have a chance to tap and go.
The referee got in the way of the kicker there. I'm a little I'm a little baffled that I didn't just kind of re-kick that one. It seemed to be a bit of confusion. The referee kind of stepped in the way. The kicker had to reset and kick. So going to come back for this free kick. No mind, it's 46-0 AIC. But a better kick could have gone 10.
Yeah, referee, he's got to get all the way down there to that first phase as well. So tries to leave a little bit early, but sometimes when they switch and go opposite fields can tie you up a little bit. But here we go with about 15 seconds left to play. Close to the final possession here for AIC, looking to put the final exclamation point on this match. A little bit of space to the outside, but that one a little bit too far. Gabrielle Miller couldn't hang on, but it's scooped up by Edwards. She's got the speed on the outside, through contact and over the midfield stripe. Over the 22-meter line she goes. Not gonna catch her, going the distance. Miller with another try will take it all the way in and dots it down between the posts for the icing on the cake for the Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, Kiana Edwards with a try there. That's her second in this game. Tremendous work by her, just going down, tiptoeing across that touchline, no problem. You can go to the NDR app and see all of the score for these teams and who the points leaders are, the try leaders are. And you're seeing Kiana Edwards' name on for sure as you watch her just speed down the line, leaving those cadets in wake as that kick is good.
Multiple players, 3 different players with 2 tries in this match for AIC, and they are on their way. Just about ready. They punched their ticket into the second round and here into the Premier Cup bracket, so we will step aside. We got more action right after this. Stay tuned. Here to the word.
In a sport of precision, you need a powerful camera. Analyze your game. Build your team. Grow together.
Ready, up.
Video captures moments. For a powerful sport.
Welcome back to Boyd's, Maryland, home Collegiate Rugby Championships number 2 here on the women's premier side of the bracket. About underway, we've got the Wheeling Cars taking on the Bowdoin Polars. And John, this is a very tough. Cardinals won the 15s championships here in their first season, but a notable team. What do you expect to see inside here today?
Wills are the same. They do have the speed and the power there at base for Ken Pape to pick from. So watch out for Rebecca's players and Bella Cara Nelson. They will run the ball happily.
So the Bowdoin Polar Bear, the black and white jerseys, taking on Wheeling Cardinals in the red. This one out into touch. Taken in by Wheeling, so we'll have our first line out at the midfield stripe.
Red, we're here.
You said at the beginning of the first game, this is a cascading tournament. Win every game to go through to this tournament. So there's no time to waste right here. So got to get your horse quickly, and going into touch there, not the best thing for Wheeling.
Gulata throws that one in, gets the pass, and gets the Polar Bears moving. Now out to the left-hand side. Gulata again. Nice little return pass. Backwards it goes, but a huge smash is coming in from Wheeling. Big time hits abound here, and they fend off to the left-hand side. They great little ball back for the offload. Content there from Doust. The Polar Bears just that one forward as they were trying to scoop that one. Of our first scrum as both teams kind of get those jitters out of the way, compete for the national championship.
Little mistake either way here from the Bowdoin College Polar Bears there in the tackle. It is a little wet this morning, so not always that surprising for these players. You really see it there. But we're going to come back on. But this is going to set up a double second round match. Whoever wins this has to play AC.
Just put up a terrific performance there in the first half. And a free kick here as we come back from the scrum. Free Justin Hale out of Texas. One now into contact for Ty.
Hey, Coach, I don't need every single comment. We got it. We got it.
And we'll this one back, another knock on there in the tackle. Their scrum here, John.
It's a big run from number 8, Rebecca Vacara from the Bowdoin College Polar Bears, an MVP in 15 tournaments. She was a freshman, a tremendous player. This is from Sacramento. Keep an eye on Vacara. She's any room. She is powerful and she is fast.
That ball was out. The scrum half was there making the tackle. Bring this one back though. We'll reset the scrum again. Third time here in 2.5 minutes. The second match, first of the week, both these schools. And as you mentioned, John, you got early. Need to win that first day in the Premier Cup bracket. Big tie for Wheeling as they shoved in themselves the penalty.
These teams looking to just be aggressive defensively. The scrums, time for Wheeling.
Center of the pitch, took this one through. And Matai over the midfield stripe. Able to keep things moving off to the right-hand side now. Alexis Doubt there through Gulata. One off the hands. Not clear for Gemily Rivera. Another line out here at the midfield stripe. As both just can't get the engines in. We spent most of our time here at stripe job.
Back to the line, on the line, Red.
Miscues either way. And he gets early points on the board here. Their nerves.
Again, off the line out. Could not up and get it. And it's Wheeling to take this one back. Alexis Dallas, terrific athlete, goes through. Tripped up a little bit there, lost it forward as she went to deck, knocked on, and both teams continue to get those jitters out of the way, and we'll have their scrum here to the Polar Bears.
Dallas from Wauwatosa, Wisconsin, a junior exercise science major. She can be incredibly dynamic. Just caught by the bootlace there, tripped up and knocked the ball on. If she gets a little bit of room, has a fend, a really good fend, and very, very quick.
Tries in the national championship, incredible performance through that tournament. And she is ready to rock and roll today. Off the left-hand side, now Polar Bears. Into contact they go. Nice little switch there to Sophie Gould. Lost in contact though. Again with the cheer for Wheeling. Take this one out. Look for some space on the right-hand side. Splitting the defense though to the 10-meter line. There's Dallas with it. Dragu, black jerseys with her. Still up feet before dishing it off to the right-hand side. Through the final tackle over the 20-meter line and into the try-zone. Liz Sinatra. From Syracuse, this one home, and dots in the first 5 points of the match.
Finish there by Sinatra. We're going to see Gulata, key playmaker in 57s for Wheeling. Just can really do to pass away in traffic there. Close to power. Alexis Dallas says you cannot pay attention to Sinatra with her. So once Sinatra gets it, she's one player to beat, and Sophie Gould getting the line there for Sinatra. It's a touchdown 5. Conversion
is so 7-0. You're here, a way through. Just a couple minutes left here in the first half of action as Dallas rips off a little bit of that
10 seconds kick.
extra undershirt. They're trying to grab and drag her down by any means possible, but still couldn't do it. Beautiful offload and got the assist that last try. For space here in the center of the pitch, but it's taken there by Doust. Offload to the left-hand side, back and forth they go, but just a little too much as this one's coughed up, knocked on forward. Another sum back to Wheeling as the Poles just have not been able to really get things moving the way that they want to so far in the first half.
Good opportunity for Wheeling here late in this first half. Opportunity to put in another 5 points if they can make it work. They're looking wide to a couple of their players.
Through the legs they come to Dallas, full head of steam, right through the defense she goes, over the 2-meter line, and another try here. Alexis Dallas gets it done. She'll take her time, and with 15 seconds from the first half, that's 2 tries up on the board for Wheeling.
Alexis Dallas, you see ahead of steam there, gets a bit of a running start. She gets ball flat, easy to deal with as anyone would be for defense, but Alexis Dallas gets his ball on the run here. Ball in one hand, looks out to the left, goal again. The other person having to try to cover Alexis Dallas. That kick is good. We're at halftime, but it's a great try.
14-0 your score midway break. We will step us half number 2 when we return here on the Rugby Jerk.
Welcome to the College Rugby Show. This is going to be home for all hot takes, highlights, rankings, hot topics, all things college rugby.
They could be pushing into that 2, possibly number 1 spot.
This for me is one player to watch out for.
We will be back on your airways very soon.
Our world is growing, and so is rugby. There are more players, more teams, more matches than ever before. Luckily, our game is simple. We only really need one to play it, and we buy millions of them every year. Unfortunately, too many end up in the wrong place, but some balls are better. Rhino's recycled wrench is made with up to 80% recycled rubber. We are still not perfect, but it's a step in the right direction. You only need a ball, make it a good one. For rugby, for the planet.
Welcome back to the Maryland soccer play. Alexis Dallas, 1 try to her name, an assist. Got the try off to her teammate Liz Sinatra earlier as the exercise science major. Get it done out of Wisconsin, just a junior, so still 1 more year to show her prowess here on the collegiate stage. So 1 half down, John, 14-0 as the Polar Bears just have not been able to get things moving, really been able to make it past the midfield stripe yet.
You missed the ball. You missed it.
They need to do some work here, do the Polar Bear. We said, in the AIC game, you start really fast, and that's what AIC did. But so with a tournament like this, you just have to scrap a win. So Bowdoin can really turn it on in this half, and that penalty will help. They can scrap out a win against his Wheeling team and move forward.
Not rolling away in the tackle, the penalty there. So the quick tap coming here to Douse. And off to the right-hand side they come, into the hands of Vakaru. Out in there over the midfield stripe, but yet again, contact there, hands in the ruck, and so a penalty is called again. Back 10 go Wheeling.
Off the foot.
Pass a little bit low, off the foot, and we lay on, but it is in the hands of the Cardinals. Great job getting the mitts on it there and earning the penalty. Good job off the poach, and the Polar Bears, the quick tap and keep things moving. Rebecca Vakaru, great job getting there and ripping that one away. earning her team the penalty. Furthest down the pitch they've made it so far. Just down by 14, plenty of time to strike here. Quick chip over the top here. Patello on the chase. This one's gonna set up nicely in the try zone, but it's dotted down by Wheeling. Kicked in there.
Liz Sinatra got back on that one. Interesting tactic there from Bowdoin. I'm sure their coaching staff spotted in behind. There was some space and no sweeper at times for the Cardinals. They saw the space, kicked it back there, started the foot race. But you see here, it was initially a Bowdoin player in front. But Sinatra's going to pull out, look it down there, touch that ball down.
Time's off.
Yeah, we saw her speed off of the first try earlier in the match, and this one, again, kicked all the way in goal. Touchdown by Wheeling, but it was brought in by Bowdoin. And so it will be a 22-meter drop for them. For Bowdoin here, they're going to take this one just inside Wheeling's half of the pitch. And contact right away here. Driven back is Douse, but they're able to obtain possession over the left-hand side. Vicaro into contact again. Another great tackle by Wheeling. And this one slid out into the middle of the pitch, kicked forward. A little bit of space here. Never know where the bounce of the rugby ball is going to go. This one, a push called on Alexis Dallas, so a penalty. They get sent back 10. There's the quick tap, Doused. Space on the right-hand side, 10 meters out. There's the pop pass and the daylight and the try for Bowdoin College. 5 on the board as they cut into this deficit.
Bowdoin able to just dislodge that defense for the Wheeling Cardinals. Have some room on the outside, knock it out with a big run on the other side. Set this one up as they come across field. See some really good players here. Let's meet a Douse. Douse puts that ball away onto the ground, but it'll pop up here. No problem zone for this Bowdoin team.
Captain.
And that's an important point for them about halfway through the second half.
Hey.
It's like guy there. Scored by Tanamura McDonald. Great work. We saw Alexis Ellis there making the big tackle, but too much support there. Great job getting on the outside. Just did that final pop pass. They get their target and get their 5 points up on the board. One a little bit of a grubber coming through. Alexis Dallas takes it in. Pins off 1, pins off 2. Splits 2 more defenders at the midfield stripe. Right there on her back, though, is Vicaro. This one knocked on forward. No advantage gain, so we'll come back. But as Dallas continues to shine here at the CRCs.
That's the battle you want to fuck it out for Bowdoin. The Bear Star, Alexis Dallas, the Wheeling Stars. Dry down, eventually fuck it out, catches up, and that ball to be knocked on.
Bye! Set.
Terrific tackle by Vicaro. She knew that fend was coming, was able to lap that away, get low, and made a solid tackle to jar the ball loose. Speaking of solid tackles, Dallas is right back at again at the 22-meter line, trying to pin the Polar Bears back. He's from New Brunswick, Maine. From their own end, they'll chip this one up over the top, and the chase is back on again. We've seen that quite often here in the second half, John, as they're starting to use that strategy a little bit more.
Tamsin Boyce on the field right now.
She's fine.
Irish-born player playing at Wheeling. Add some speed in the second half. You see right there, got back on the ball. Just set that up.
A little bunched up here are the Cardinals, looking for space now on the right-hand side. Spins through 1 tackle. Gulata takes it over the 10-meter line. Penalty here, not releasing against the Polar Bears, and they'll get sent back 10. Time is off here, just making sure that everybody is okay, and we should be able to get back going yet again.
She's just tying her shoe.
Bella Gulata just a little slow to get up right here, tying her shoe. She's all set. Got to call a 15s game for Wheeling last fall. Gulata scored a try, hit some conversions, hit some penalty kicks, and a drop goal. So she is an all-around player, certainly the 10 here for the Wheeling University Cardinals.
Plays that fly half position on the 15 side. Just a junior out of Brunswick, Ohio. Looks like she is ready to rock and roll again. And Justin Hale blows the whistle and gets us restarted. About 2 minutes left. Not rolling away again the call. So off to the right-hand side. Kick finds touch. Just inside. Well, nice kick. Makes it all the way about 10 meters away from the try line. And that's where the Cardinals will have a line out.
I was talking about Gulata's kicking ability. Certainly saw it right there. Puts them nice and close to the line. The try with most likely seal it for the Wheeling Cardinals. They can push one in.
So far, we've seen a couple of steals so far for Wheeling. Their lineouts have looked solid. Try to go here to the front. Not sure if that went over the 5-meter line.
Did he ever travel 5? Didn't travel
Knocked
5.
on as well.
Not 5. Back 10.
So we'll have a free kick here. That, again, has to go past that 5-meter stripe right there. Did not do so, and so we'll come for a free kick at the 15-meter line. Has some space there on the right-hand side, but just into contact goes Vicaru. Vicaru out now to the right-hand side. Again, great fringing defense from Wheeling. Not a lot of space to be had. Just in front of their 22-meter line. We've seen a lot of prowess with the kicks here in the second half for the Polar Bears. Nice little switch. Opens up here on the left. Spins through contact, and Hannah Smart continues to move forward. Down by 9 with about a minute left to play here in the first match of the day for these two squads.
Release now, tackler.
In the contact, did not release though, so he'll get sent back 10 as Riley Bonds must release that tackled player. She didn't do so, and now eating up those meters. Here's Patello over the 10-meter stripe, needs the support there, and just in time comes in Droust. Now back to the left-hand side, we'll restart again. Tonamora McDonald, one try to her name already, splits the defense and gets tackled from behind, 10 meters out. Beautiful little pop pass keeps things rolling for the Polar Bears, but it's ripped away in contact. Riley Bonds snatches it away inside their own 5-meter line. They're gonna kick to try and relieve a little bit of pressure. The chase is on, and it looks like Wheeling might be able to get to this one first. Kick this one forward a little bit more, give some space, and drug around. Sophie Gold slings him to deck, but the ball jars free, and it's scooped up here by Tamsin Boyce, and she's gonna take it the distance, end-to-end stuff to finish off this match. And the third try coming right down the pipe here. Tamsin Boyce, the junior exercise science major, ends the lead for the Cardinals.
Yeah, so Galata do the smart thing and just kick the ball down. I'm not sure if he's trying to get the touch here. It's a good boot on it and chases it herself. So get the boot on here by Galata to chase her own kick. See the ball just kind of pop up there. It wasn't Gulata who picked that up. Shamu got a hold of that, took it forward, and Hamilton Boyce, good job keeping the ball alive here. And Boyce just finishes off that try, and it is be a tasty matchup between AIC and Wheeling coming up later.
Wheeling does the job, 3 tries on the board. The Polar Bears go down in defeat, but a great second match as we will step aside. We've got more rugby action on the way here on the Rugby Network.
All right, welcome back here. We continue on here with day 2, continuing on the women's side in the Premier Division from the Maryland Soccerplex. Ben Holden, Tim Dilks. Tim, good to be back with you. Army and Mount St. Mary's, a couple of brand names in the world of college rugby. What are you looking for in this one?
Well, Army is a powerhouse, second place to Brown the last 2 seasons. Look to make that final jump and plant their flag on the top of the mountain here at the CRCs. That goes out into touch, but they are a solid squad. First-year coach
in, then went out.
trying to get things done
Blue
for
ball.
Army. but a great team, and we should have an excellent match here on our hands as Mount St. Mary is going to give everything they can, but this is, again, a very tough Army squad.
Nine. Closer.
Indeed the case. Army in the black, and it's Mount St. Mary's here. The line out, mishandled, pulled down, and Army comes away with the pill. Premier Division action here to begin the day on day number 2. Outside, looking for that corner. Offloaded back. Good ball played back for Morales. Down on the deck, trying to get a handle on it. There was Gamboa. So it's a knock-on called on Army.
Yesenia Morales, number 6, caught that one, had space on the outside, and did a great job looping around and getting the return pass back into it as well. Just could not finish that one off. But you see just how quick and how much athleticism they have on the outside.
Bind. Set.
First scrum of the day controlled here by Mount St. Mary's, deep in their own territory. Woodward with the carry, around she goes. No release in time there on the ball by Mount St. Mary's. So Army goes right back to work with a very favorable position to attack from, and they attack right in and get their first points in the match with the try.
Try into the second 5, but you just see the power here. A couple of defenders right in front of her, space on the out, but just goes after that outside, splits the defenders, and has the strike it through. Timing, Toa dots it down. The freshman shows her strength, and what a horse here so far for Army.
Yes, they would say on the post at West Point, a plebe, a first-year player. That kick sails wide by De Leon. We stay at a 5-0 count in favor of the Black Knights of Army.
So far, the Mountaineers just trying to hold strong there, pinned in inside their own 5-meter line. It's Army that's able to find the space, crack code, and get the first 5 on the board.
Nearly taken there, but mishandled and picked up by Army. They're back on the attack once again. Edge of the 22, back into the hands there of Gamboa. Outside, got a runner out there, and this one will be another 5 for Army as they get it down. Alyssa Davis doing the job this time.
Davis had one almost scored on the right-hand side earlier, but this time from left flank, she's able to take a distance, caught that one at full pace, and nobody's going to catch her around 22-meter line. But great work stepping through the defense there as you offloads, even a little backhand pass, and the space is found on the outside. Pass hits its target, and too much speed to play there, and Army extends the lead now 10-0 here with the conversion coming.
Yeah, and well off the mark. So that's how you draw it up on that try, right, Tim? I mean, that was beautifully executed by Army. Davis out there all alone. We get another look at it from the back angle of this play again.
Yeah, you see that little flip pass, backhanded pass. That by De Leon. Continued out, and Morales hits her target outside, but as you mentioned, exactly what you're looking for. Bring him into the center and then spin it to the outside to your speed.
Mount St. Mary's with it again. Army right there, very aggressive there on the tackle, forcing them back inside of the 22 here. Tough sledding so far from Mount St. Mary's. Deets with a carry there. Hear the call from our referee. All wearing the wireless mics here throughout the tournament. Mount St. Mary's trying to get over the halfway line here. It's been a struggle for him so far in this match. 4 minutes have expired. Army's got it back again. You heard the ref. Knock-on advantage being played for the Black Knights. At the back, turning right now, playing it left. Davis will come back and gather this one in right at halfway. Speedy on that wing is Davis. And Boa got it free for the base. Stepping on the gas and trying to break away. And once again, Army will find points. Morales will take this one and get it relatively close to the sticks.
Morales got the assist on the last one. Final pass there. This time takes the distance herself. Great work on the defensive end to get that one, and then just too much speed up that player, and then the bend to just use that extra space on the side, and then the speed to off as well. Another try of the match for Army as they can flex their muscles. Got to start quick in the minute. Get one loss and you're bumped down to the smaller bracket. So a great job with a quick start here for Army as they continue to push forward, trying to get that CFC National Championship this year.
Great point, Tim. You still keep a chance to keep playing, but this Army group, they look like a lot of teams that play sports, play athletics at Army. They look in sync. They look precise. They look very on so far in this match.
Time off. Are we good? Okay. Time on.
Yeah, the Mount just trying to keep things together. They've had a couple of phases of decent play, but just so much pressure on the offensive end. They've got to try to minimize those mistakes here and keep possession of the ball and away from Army to get back into this match.
Woodward taken hard to the ground. Good tackle by Army. Final minute here in the opening half. It's all Black Knights leading 17-0. 3 tries. They converted the last one. Trying to find that edge, that corner, but unable to. Great job by Fiatoa there to finish off that tackle. But she didn't get away in time. Mount St. Mary's quickly on the restart here in the final 30 seconds here of this opening half of play. Premier Division matchup. Tim talked so well about Army and how close they came last year, how good of a group they have, and their program has been stable. And a top club in women's sevens for quite some time. Army comes up with a ball again here, Tim, looking for another late try here. You got to believe, and here they go. In close. For the 5. Mount St. Mary trying to steal that ball in there.
Snuckle. Yellow.
And it's going to be a yellow card.
Yep.
Mark's here. Hold on.
A little bit too much there, Tim, for Mount St. Mary's.
Yeah, rolled on top of the ball, slowed that one down. Easy call for the ref.
Yep, and an easy try for the Black Knights. They get it down off that little half-go restart, and they are absolutely dominating here in this match.
That's Cecilia Allis that's able to duck that one down. The junior out of Charleston, South Carolina. But again, that one was started by the winger on the near side pitch, Alyssa Davis. She already has one try to her name, but she got her hands on it, ripped that one away, turnover ball, and they know how to finish it when they get the ball 10 meters out. Another try up on the board for Army.
So no good on the conversion. Army with a triple lead, up by 22 points. So far in the match as we have hit the halftime break on day 2 on the Maryland Soccerplex.
Money in 'em. Bigger the lie, the hard fall. Fast route from so he's been a cash route, back route.
In a sport of power and precision, you need a powerful and precise camera. And your game. Build your team. Put together.
Ready? Up.
The Oaktress Moments. A powerful camera for a powerful sport.
Rugby!
Welcome to the College Rugby Show. This is going to be home for all hot takes, highlights, rankings, hot topics, all things college rugby.
They could be pushing into that 2, possibly #1 spot.
This for me is one player to watch out for.
We will be back on your airways very soon.
Our world is growing, and so is rugby. There are more players, teams, more matches than ever before. Luckily, our game is simple. We only really need one thing to play.
Saturday in Maryland at the Maryland Soccerplex here in the Women's Premier Division. Women's matches get going today. The men, they will conclude today as we go on throughout the day. Ben Holden and Tim Wilson. Tim, this Army side, man, they have come out razor sharp here. What are your biggest takeaways or takeaway from half one?
Well, we've seen them do it a lot of different ways. We've seen Fiatoa with some strong tackles and taking it through the defense, and then we also see the speed on the outside with Alyssa Davis, so they can get it done in a multitude of ways, and already here showing a bit of that breaking ability.
Yeah, they're trying to get her
Playing
over
advantage.
halfway, down and
Knock
loose
on
on the deck. Mount St. Mary's will
Yeah.
pick that ball up. Riley Sibilia there.
No
and a
advantage coming.
good finish, but we're coming back
Forward
for a
pass.
call that was made here earlier.
Yeah, they're
Forward
calling that one
pass was
forward.
called.
Yeah, on Army, so no advantage gain is there as the Mountaineers tried to scoop that one up and get things
I
going,
need a
but
clear hook.
lost about 10
Front row, I need a
meters
clear
in that.
hook,
So we'll
okay?
come
On
back
every
to
scrum.
where that knock-on happened. We'll restart with the scrum.
Okay, let's go.
Neely Denlinger
Crouch.
with the ball under her left hand. She'll put
Bind.
it in here.
Set.
Easily done. She takes it and tries to break. Good
No.
pickup from her on the
No
carry
lift.
there. The tackle made by Campos for Army. An option outside, and they take it. Trying to get around that last defender. Good job coming back there. Great tackle out there in space by Army.
Off your feet.
Call
Back
against
up,
Army.
back.
Yeah, it was Cassidy
Off
Ball that got in that tackle, did a great job on the
Yeah,
outside,
guys,
number
your
12,
blue yellow card
but
could come on.
off of her
Yeah,
feet.
come on.
And again, if you try to go for that ball or try to get over that ruck and your hands hit the deck, it's an easy call for
Yeah.
the referee. Got to support your own weight and keep your elbows and hands off of it.
Here's Mount St. Mary's on restart. Sophia Mathis the carry, played it back. Shayna Myers with the ball, to ground she goes.
Knock on.
Unlucky.
Turned over.
Yeah, just off the back there. We've seen Denlinger with a couple of good passes there, playing that scrum half position. Did a great job off of the last scrum, but just the freshmen trying to get in there and get things moving. Not a lot of seniors, a few juniors on the squad, but a pretty young roster here for the Mount
Bind.
as they continue to try to climb this mountain that is the Army squad.
Yeah, speaking of which, I'm looking at the Army roster as you say that. A lot of first-year and second-year players on this Army club, and a dangerous team. They've got
Lost forward
just
in the tackle. There's gonna be no advantage.
3
Scrum down.
seniors,
Blue.
a couple of juniors, so they've got depth,
No,
clearly,
sorry,
this
come on.
Army side. We're going to come back here, and
So
we'll
close to
scrum
colors.
down here.
Yeah, an extremely potent offense. This is a program that's been building for years and years and continues to play at the top level of competition. Here at the CRCs, again, just
Bind.
trying to climb
Set.
that last little bit. 2 years in a row, second place. They're eyeing the national championship here today.
Yeah, and what a facility. I'm sure you've been to it, Tim, right? You've been to their facility at West Point?
Oh, beautiful stuff. Great
You gotta roll faster.
atmosphere
tackler.
for the rugby fans,
You're
and
there,
just
you're
an
there.
incredible
Yep.
opportunity if you haven't
Back up,
been
back
there.
up.
The first
Not
time I
rolling.
really watched a rugby match in person was there. I did their football games for 9 years, and I always went when they played Navy. I went every year up there to watch them play, and what a spot they've got there along the banks of the Hudson. Here they come again, moving down the pitch. Ball play back, though. They can't handle it, and it's turned over. Mount St. Mary's.
No advantage. Lost forward. Scrum down blue.
There's the call from the referee.
Ellie Kearney there, number 5, was able to take that one a good 30, 40 meters there. Kearney out of Tucson, Arizona, the junior. Again, lots of weapons throughout
No,
this
there's
pitch.
2:30
Just
left.
about anybody that scoops up that ball could take it
Crouch!
to the distance. Lots of pressure
Bind.
here on Mount St. Mary's.
Set.
Todd, the put in, right off the back. She's got a ton of room over on that right side.
Holding.
Call on Army. I beg your pardon, on Mount St. Mary's. I knew that. I just misspoke. Here's Army now. Under a little bit of heat here. They had trouble gathering that ball in. Picked up by Eisenhart. To ground she went. Fancy feet out there on the wing there from Fiatoa. Look at this run. Still powering. Mount St. Mary's trying to come in and take that ball away. Unable to. Final couple of minutes here. All Army in this match. They did all their damage in the opening half. Another tough run there. Fiatoa to ground.
That's good.
They're going to try and pop one through here. Do they have a player down there to scoop it up? Indeed they do. The ball set up nicely. Perfectly done. Cassidy ball, an easy 5 right between the sticks for her, but a great play to set it all up, Tim.
And just when we think they're starting to slow it down, trying to keep things in a little tighter, playing with more physicality, all it takes is one spin to the outside. It looked like they had him contained, but there's the boot from Eisenhart. Just a junior, she's able to find the space. Beautiful rubber, bounces up nicely, and they take it the distance. Cassidy ball, but that's her second of the day. Incredible performances. Army continues to thrive here in their first
40
match.
seconds, actually. Yeah.
They look good.
As we mentioned, getting it done in so many different ways. You saw the power and physicality from Fiatoa, the freshman, 5'6", just smashing into players. And then that speed and grace on the outside, just a powerful combo so far for Army.
Yeah, a lot of weapons indeed. Final 30 seconds here. Didn't go 10 meters on the kick, so we'll come back to halfway here.
Huh?
And then on that last one, it looked like they were contained. It looked like Mount St. Mary's was able to fringe out and keep things contained and starting to kind of get them on the back foot a little bit. But that beautiful little kick, they knew it was on, and you knew that ball had that sight or the space in her sights, and she was able to take it the distance. Just great work on a team-building aspect here so far for Army.
No question, nearly a steal here from the Black Knights. They get it, though, but it's going to be called back here.
Game.
And that is a match. So the Black Knights of Army, Tim, come away with an impressive victory in their first match here in the 2025 CR7's National Championships. As you well touched on, they're trying to get back to that championship and trying to get the championship this year as they take out Mount St. Mary's.
Terrific performance, put their stamp on this, and they are ready to rock and roll for the rest of the way.
We will step aside, a quick break here. We'll have St. Bonaventure and New Haven coming up when we come back.
Our world is growing, and so is rugby. There are more players, more teams, more matches than ever before. Luckily, our game is simple. We only really need one thing to play it. We buy millions of them every year. Unfortunately, too many end up in the wrong place. Some balls are made better. Rhino's recycled wrench is made with up to 80% recycled rubber. We are still not perfect, but it's us in the right direction. You only need a ball, make it a good one. For rugby, for you, for planet.
A ball for the plate.
A ball for the planet.
The Rhino recycled wrench. A ball for the planet.
Chargers of New Haven. New Haven will kick it away here to the Bonnies. And Tim, like Army, another solid program this St. Bonaventure group is.
Yeah, the Bonnies have been building for years. A terrific squad, lots of talent, and very well coached So this should be a fun first match of the day for both these schools. And again, have to throw it out there. You need the victory here to stay in the premier bracket. So everything on the line here from the first whistle at CRCs.
Yeah, like the old NCAA tournament mantra, survive and advance. That's what it is. Bonnie's here with the scrum. First set piece opportunity of the match for them. It's out the back there, taken out of there by Midaw. Midaw under that right arm, charging up the pitch. Takes a look to ground, but she goes into touch.
No, leave it. Next time, just leave it.
Now is gathered into touch by the New Haven players.
Mark's here.
By X-Man.
Midaw, one of the 2 players for the Bonnies that are grad students. So they've been with the program through the ups and downs, trying to boost them to the national championship here at the CRCs in the Premier Division.
Use it now.
As we see the Chargers now with their first line out.
Aggie Mahan with it. Knocked away. Nicely done there by the Bonnies. Getting a hand on that was Jillian Ray, forcing the critical turnover in the line out. Always big. You get those in those set pieces. See what they can do with it here. Natalie Lamar to ground. Midaw runs at their 9. Got it free. New Haven not giving them much here. Trying to get around that corner. The carry there from McKenna Ramsey.
And McKenna Ramsey with the knock on in contact.
But she mishandled it and knocked it on.
It was Sarah Connolly that was able to make that final tackle. And good job on the defensive end there by the Chargers. They fringed out nicely. They came up hard and really started to disrupt that attacking line for the Bonnies. And they're able to fringe out and slam that door shut on the outside. Great work. Again, Sarah Connolly slamming it shut.
Stay back, stay back. No, offside.
Offside to call against the Yellow Jackets, against the Bonnies.
Quickly on the restart. New Haven looking for our first points here of the day. We might get them here on this carry. They break through, and they're going to take this one in for the 5. Well done by New Haven. The Chargers on top 5-0 with a kick coming.
Number 12.
Serena Vulaono dots it down the winger. Criminal justice major. Sophomore takes it the distance here. You see splitting the defense. That gap was too wide, and she was able to make it happen. Jogs that one in almost with ease as she gets the first 5 points on the board. And Ben, we've been talking so about the Bonnies. A statement try there for Vulaono. Dot it down and get them in front.
Yeah, no question about it. Set piece for them there. They get it down and have the lead here. Midway through this first half. Go ahead, Tim.
We just hadn't seen a lot of ball in hand yet, so a big surprise there, the burst of speed. And let's see what kind of defensive pressure. We saw them do pretty well in the first couple phases. They need to replicate that and keep things moving as we're halfway through.
Kick was good, so a 7-0 lead for New Haven. Mishandled, but scooped up. Secondary player back there was able to gather it. That's Alice Robinson. Look at Robinson with a carry. Great work from Robinson. So a little closer to halfway. New Haven coming with some good speed. Mishandled back there. Natalie Lamar did not gather that ball in cleanly. He turns it over.
Yeah, just trying to get it to the outside there. Using the hands to pass it all the way through. But again, Vulaono was right there to slow things down. Right there to make the tackle, put a little bit of pressure on, force the knock on. And a turnover back and a huge opportunity now to maybe even double this one up as they're at the 22-meter line.
Yeah, you're not kidding. What a great platform for them to start from. They scored out of their scrum on that try earlier. Here's another good ball played inside. Good channel, good run, throwing it back. The offload, what a play. What a beautiful play. Turned in there. Della Cruz played that ball back, and that's a terrific finish from New Haven. And Tim, they've got a 12-point lead now.
Yeah, and not just one, but 2. Almost look past lobs this one. Great job of getting around the defender, holding that pass until that was available, and then the lob up over top finds its target. Great work by the Chargers as De La Cruz with a little pop pass up over the top, and they have continued their dominance here in the last couple of minutes. A big surprise as they're up by 12.
Lexi Byrne, the benefactor of that no-look pass, she put it down. So St. Bonaventure, they look out of sorts to you. What's going on with them from your perspective, Tim, so far?
It's just a couple little mistakes. It's just the knock-ons. They've got to tighten things up. They have the ability and athletes out here to make it happen. Let's see if they can minimize those mistakes a little bit and see the tries start flowing.
They're giving it quite an effort on this play, and this one will go the distance. On cue, Tim. Back in, the Bonnies are on the board. It is put down by Ramsey, who has been such a key player for them in her time at St. Bonaventure.
She's the other grad student, has been through a lot of ups and downs through this program, but she is one of the best players in the country here in the Premier Division. She is letting it shine. A huge try, 60 meters there. She bumped off a couple, and then we saw the speed get turned on around midfield, and she took it the distance. They're able to cut into this one. Conversion no good, but they really needed that one to stay competitive in this match. See the bend there, into contact, just bumps right off, and then turns on the jets. Over 60 meters, nobody's gonna catch her. Support's right there. The Bonnies not to be denied here today. They are right in this match.
Down by 7 now. Conversion no good.
Sorry, circling.
Whistle gone there, but sometimes, as we know, it's tough to hear it in there. You're so focused on the game, but they stop down here.
The mistake there, and then they actually gave a card for the late tackle. So that is the try scorer, Vulaono. So she will sit for the remainder for the next 2 minutes, and a huge opportunity for the Bonnies to take the lead, or excuse me, to tie this one up here with another try.
Yeah, 7-on-6 rugby here. The Bonnies on the attack. Natalie Lamar to ground, played out of there. Jillian Ray. Should be the final passage of play here, and there they go again. They find the edge, and this one will go in for another 5 points here. Elizabeth Lyons putting it down. So they're a kick away, Tim, from tying this match up, as you just said.
She brought it right between the posts, give her kicker the best chance possible to knock that one through. And boy, been back and forth we go. 12 unanswered points one way. We'll see if they can tie this one up. Just an incredible battle between two great competing teams. And there you see the speed on the outside, the dive for it, but just too much pace. They take it the distance and into halftime.
And we have hit the halftime break with that passage, the final passage of play in the first half. So New Haven, Tim said, they get a couple tries. The Bonnies bounce back. They get a couple of tries. Good one brewing here on day 2 in the Women's Premier Division.
Let's get ready. Collegiate Rugby is now. This is the moment we waited for. Everything you want is right here. We gon' give them what they came for. We gon' take it up from last year. The Rugby Network is giving you all the free MLR content you want, live and on demand. Never miss a hit, never miss a try, never miss your team. MLR on TRN. Never miss a match.
Hold on.
Well, there is a forecast of rain potentially throughout the day, and as you can see, it's starting to come down. About 40 minutes away from Washington, D.C. Ben Holden, Tim Wilkes with you on this one. John Broker will step in with Tim for the next couple after this one. But Tim, this was a tale of really two halves of the first half, was it not, in terms of these two clubs and the way they scored?
You called it. It was into the 4th minute of action before we saw our first try, but back-to-back quick tries for the Chargers from the University of New Haven. They took the lead, but 2 tries in response back from back from St. Bonaventure has them in position, but another quick strike here for the Chargers.
Goes into touch, though, and it's a 12-10 count here. The Chargers of New Haven in the blue kits. St. Bonaventure, they're in the dark kits here in this women's Premier Division, this first-round matchup. So, Tim, you talked about it earlier, and I know you've mentioned it in all the matches you call. I think it's important to reiterate.
Blue, back 10,
if
please.
you lose this match, you're not done. You're just out of the championship bracket, correct?
Correct. You go down to the smaller bracket, continue to be able to compete for a championship. All these teams will get at least 3-4 matches in on the weekend. An incredible performance. Even if you don't make it through to the championship, still great education and a lot of great athletes out here getting it done.
Over 3,000 players at the Maryland Soccerplex this weekend, men's and women's sides. 4 divisions on the men's side. Not that high of a number on the women's side, but still a ton of teams. 144 sides are here.
And remember, Ben, Chargers still playing with a man or a woman down here, trying to get the short-handed try here. About 1 more minute left on that yellow card.
Leading by 2 and trying to get that ball across the line and down. Carry there from Dela Cruz. Picked up from the back. They're not going to be able to stop that. It is down. And they get it, Tim. They get the shorthanded try indeed. 17-10 with a kick coming. They get it right in front, too, that kick.
And Lala Guimaraes, she had a couple of big-time runs as they try to punch this one in, shoving her way forward. But here she's able to take it off the back, right into contact, pushes her way through, and dots it down for the first try of the second half for New Haven.
3rd in the match for the Chargers. And Mares there making her way off the pitch, and it stays where it is in terms of the score. 7 points here is the difference right now, with the Bonnies set to get the pill back.
10 seconds.
Yeah, they did say that one actually did go through. So now a 9-point lead, and just goes to show we thought that they were going to be able to make that kick. Was St. Bonaventure's right before halftime, had it in front of the post, did not go in. So that now puts them here with 2 unconverted tries and make things a little bit more difficult down by 9.
Yeah, 2-possession game indeed, and line out here for the Bonnies just outside their 22. That throw a little high and into the try scorer's hands, and she plays it on there for the dangerous one, number 12, who's already scored in this match for New Haven. Trying to break to that corner, and this one will be taken in easily. That is Lexi Byrne putting it down.
They were able to pin them deep off of the kick, and we see that yellow card player come back in. They're full strength again, and they waste no time at all. Beautiful job fighting through a lot of those tackles to get it through the hands all the way to the outside, and too much speed out there, but a terrific response. 2 tries when it looked like the Bonnies were going to be able to get back into this one. So 2 for one, 2 for the other. Now back 2 again for the Chargers as they've taken a stranglehold on this match here in the second half.
Big match so far for Byrne, getting that try. The kick was no good. So it's a 14-point difference, a 2 converted try difference here in the match. Coming up on just 3 minutes to go in it. This kick will find its way into touch. Unable to gather it in back there was Elizabeth Lyons. Bonnie still have it, obviously.
The second time they've done that exact same thing. Make that kick right towards the 22-meter line on the outside, finds some space, bounces and trickles into touch. And the Bonnies have not done too well with their lineout so far. Last one stolen away. This one good.
A little more cautious there. They went real deep on it. Easy target. They find it. See if they can get something going here with 2.5 minutes remaining in this match. But they are going in reverse here all the way back to their own 5.
Pass, leave the hands. No. It's a scrum down.
So they were off their feet there originally, but it looks like they're going to come back here to the knock on. So no penalty there, just knocked on inside that ruck.
Has to clearly leave the hands. Sorry.
Tim, you do quite a bit of refereeing, right? So, I mean, it's always great when these clubs get there, but it's big for those men and women that get to officiate in this tournament as well.
No, terrific performance. Athletes from all over the country coming in with the whistle and trying to get it done on this big-time stage. So a great job of bringing in a lot of the top premier referees from throughout the country.
No doubt about it. Byrne went to ground for New Haven. They're trying to make it 3 consecutive tries here. They're going to have a short challenge here in front of them, and the challenge is met, and that is Byrne again. Takes in another one here, and New Haven has opened up a massive lead here, Tim.
Yeah, this New Haven pace is just relentless. Even a high tackle there. She fights through it, and Lexi Byrne dots it down. She had a couple of big tackles that she was able to lay there in the previous possession as well, but just too many mistakes for the Bunnies. They can't get things going. This high pressure, high intensity offense is just cranking on all cylinders right now for the Chargers. 3 unanswered tries in the second half.
No good on the kick. New Haven in complete control here with 30 seconds to go in the match. New Haven's going to win this match. What will the final outcome be? The only question at this point. They're in control here and time the enemy of St. Bonaventure. Kick did not go 10.
Yeah, Ben, what we've seen so far here from New Haven has been incredible here in the second half. It looked like, again, after those 2 tries, St. Bonaventure really had things moving nicely. The offense was starting to get to gel, but then 3 unanswered tries here in the second half, and the Bonnies have just been discombobulated, haven't really been able to get out of their own half of the pitch so far.
No, they haven't. They've been right in this portion of the park so far. They have spent most of that time within their own half of the pitch. Tough sledding. New Haven getting scoring from a variety of players. A couple in the first half, and those 3 here in the second look really good. It'll be a tough out.
Still fighting here, though. McKenna Ramsey, she had that big try earlier. She's trying to lead her team and will them to another try.
They're working their way 10 meters over halfway. And back. Ball is loose, but they played it illegally, did New Haven.
Yeah, hands just barely touched the deck there. Easy call for the referee.
Yep. There is the aforementioned Ramsey. They're in the ruck there. Ball played back here. Bonnies. It's been that kind of day for them. And that's the match, Tim. A big win for New Haven here today. They look great.
Yeah, it was a tough second half there for the Bonnies. Great victory for the New Haven Chargers.
And Lexi Byrne there was a big part of it. A couple of tries in the second half. She was very involved. And a big win for New Haven as they move on in the Premier Division in the championship bracket.
I was stacking pennies, I might dip like Machiavelli. After the confetti,
Let's get ready. Major League Rugby is now. This is the moment we waited for. Everything you want is right here. We gon' give them what they came for. We gon' take it up from last year. The Rugby Network is giving you all the free MLR content you want, live and on demand. Never miss a hit, never miss a try, never miss your team. MLR on TRN. Never miss a match. game. We play with our hearts. We don't play with sticks, bats, or gloves. We don't wear shoulder pads or helmets. We keep playing when it hurts. And we leave everything on the field. What we wear must be built for our game.
Rugby is all about feeling. The feeling when you crouch, when you bind, when you set. The feeling when you go into that first defender. The feeling when you make that first tackle. The feeling when you take that first hit. We are that feeling. We are contact.
Welcome back to the Collegiate Rugby Championship. National Collegiate Rugby 7 showpiece. You see the rain is coming down a little bit. Adrian College, the Bulldogs, will be kicking off to Brown Bears, the #1 seed in this matchup. We've seen some great games. Cascading tournament, have to win every game to win. There is no time to let up. Brown. Some players have been around their program for a long time and want a big win. Slipping ball right there. Ball went backwards, referee said, and it quickly is up in the hands of Nikki Lynch. Nikki Lynch, keep an eye on the player, as well as Julia Murray just made that pass. Tackle on the outside. Harmony Brown made.
Off the foot, that's
ball
fine.
coming in. Good work.
Roll 6.
Big tackle from the Brown Bears. The Bulldogs looking to start quickly. They have a penalty. A little tight on offense out there. Didn't have as much width as you might like, pardon me. As they get to the 22. That's Madison Williamson from Sylvania, Ohio. Referee telling Brown to get their hands off of that. Do not do it quick enough. Roz shall be worried about these early penalties. Brown, little luck there, get a knock on. The rain's been coming down. I was off for a couple of games there, Tim, just affecting the ball handling a little bit.
Yeah, you see the umbrellas starting to pop out here and there in the stands and just getting a little moisture on the ball. We saw quite a few knock-ons there in the second half of our last match. Starting to see that come to fruition here a little bit as well. Referee tight on the calls there. We saw trying to wrestle that one away and get the poach. They must release the player first. So they've got themselves pinned in. Let's see if Brown can find an exit strategy.
Okay, come up.
Referee is just going to bring this back up and reset this.
Set the distance, okay? So get a comfortable distance and we'll go from
Caitlin Maroney, Nicola Lynch, and Akila Cathy.
Bound on hookers. Make sure you're bound on the hooker.
Maroney, a first-year player out of New Jersey. Father, a rugby man down there, whole family. And Cathy and Lynch have been linchpins of this Brown team for many years. As the ball comes in from Yana Alouche. Alouche gets the ball to Murray. Murray's got a gret pass and a great kick. If she needs a little step inside, little step outside, coming around the corner. Adrian can't handle it. Is this going to be the first 5-pointer? Down the way they go. This is Tatum Miller. She went to Dubai College. She's from Dubai, United Arab Emirates, and she has 5 points here in Boyd's, Maryland, at the National Collegiate Rugby CRC tournament. Brown takes the lead 5-0.
Pinned in their own end, and it does not matter. Find that last little pass to Mueller off on the left-hand side, and she's able to take the distance, made a nice little juke to get around that final player, and then had too much speed to take it the distance. Great job and a terrific start to this match. You've been saying it all morning, John. Got to start quick, got to get on the right foot or the front foot quickly, and they have done so here in the first half.
Yeah, you know what we're saying, got to start quick or got to scrap it out, right? You got to find a way to win because there's no pools, there's no rest. You have to put the pressure on yourself in a positive way, as we see Julia Murray, the from Libertyville, Illinois, went to Carmel Catholic High School. Will be restarting the game for Brown. 5-0, Brown leads. Nice kick back inside the 22. Good pressure coming on here. Ball's going to roll to touch. Did it go in? Nikki Lynch is right there. Nikki Lynch, talented player, played in the USA age grade system. Here comes Akila Cathy. She is difficult to stop from this area. There goes Akila Cathy from Freedom Prep. Ball coming a little wider now. That's Maroney. Maroney nearly gets it on the wraparound there.
Coming. Knock on twice. Black ball.
A little knockout in the rain, but Adrian, the Bulldogs, will have an opportunity from their own 5-meter line to chase this one downfield.
This is going to be some of the first possession we've seen out of them so far. Not an easy place to do it. It looks like we may have a quick TMO check.
Thank you, Tim.
To make
no, we're
sure
getting a new ball here. We're getting a new ball here, Tim. The ball was flat, according to the referee. So the signals for give me a new ball and TMO look a little similar. So they're just waiting for that critical part of a rugby game. You can see it right there.
Opportunity now. We saw Brown from their own end able to take it almost 80 meters off of for the try. Need to do something similar here. Pinned deep inside their own end, already down by 5 for Adrian College.
Adrian put this in, and just a note about Rhino. They're using recycled rubber Rhino rugby balls. Watching out for the environment is Rhino, a key partner here to National Collegiate Rugby. One ball may have been a little flat, but they're watching out with the recycled rubber. Referee just getting the scrum to his liking. Maroney, a front row player in 15s as well. Big drive coming in from Brown. Ball stolen away. It's in the hands of Alouche. Yana Alouche from San Ramon Valley High School. Eventually taking the ground. Player has to roll away. Lynch gets it out there in the hands of Cathy. Cathy puts it wide. Second try coming, no problem. Olivia Baptiste, the Arlington, Virginia biomedical engineering major, touches down 5. They go to 10. A little bit of another tricky kick in this weather, but 2 tries to the good for the Brown University Bears.
Precision stuff there off the back of the scrum. They're able to steal it against the head, set up the ruck here in quick hands to the outside. Caught them napping on the corner. Easy try around the side, and they're able to double up the lead now. Big time work for Brown, punching it through.
Kick is good there for the Brown Bears, so they go to 12-0. Brown looking for a three-peat here, won the last 2. Good work from the Brown Bears. Roz Chow will have this team primed and ready to roll into this third. AIC looking strong earlier on, as were a number of other teams, New Haven, Army. This is going to be heating up as we go through it today and tomorrow. Ball is in Bulldogs' hands. They have an advantage for a knockout. Referee says advantage gain, but that one went back. Pressure coming on from the Brown Bears. This defensive pressure absolutely key to keeping